we will be doing another free play. And for those of you who have never seen us before, what a Pass the Controller free play is what we do when we can't get enough people for a full-on PTC episode. So what we're going to be doing in this free play is talking about some of the topics that we had planned to discuss tonight along with the panelists, and as an added bonus in free plays, I get to join in the conversation as well. So tonight we have Justin and Pat with me, and let's get started, shall we?
You mean get started? You really?
It has been a rather interesting few weeks in the world of online gaming, where Sony Online Entertainment was sold off by Sony to a company called Columbus Nova, which then renamed SOE, since, well, they can't use the word Sony in it, and Online Entertainment it's probably copyrighted by EA or something. SOE has been rebranded and renamed to Daybreak. As I mentioned before, this is the studio behind some pretty big games, such as EverQuest, PlanetSide, and H1Z1. So, what do you guys think? What do you think that this all means, aside from the possibility of seeing these games on other systems? And is this a hint of things to come for Sony? Justin, go for it.
It's definitely like more access over time to potentially Microsoft, maybe? I mean, they're going to have to pick up they're probably going to want to pick up more revenue, wider play audience, especially considering they still run EverQuest, EverQuest 2, Dragon's Prophet. And those games not huge on the player basis anymore.
I don't know. EverQuest is still a big time MMO, so they're losing out on a pretty big name.
Yeah, I mean that's why. I mean, I definitely think that they'll try and like push these brands a little. I mean, DC Universe. I mean, I've been seeing that game pushed everywhere. For example, like it's always in my face now, which is funny because I don't think anyone actually plays.
I was about to say, DC Universe isn't Sony Online, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
DC Universe Online is Sony Entertainment.
Well, Daybreak now, I guess.
Daybreak.
But I mean, not SOE.
They did like here's and there's interesting things too. Like EverQuest Next it's technically two games. You have EverQuest Next, and then you have just Landmark. So I mean, as a company, they have a wide base of games with a wide base of play styles. So, and the fact that it is literally a rebranding of the corporate name, the employees all the same. So hopefully, yeah, we'll see a wider play audience, and we'll see these guys keep, doing what they've been doing for years, which is kind of silently pushing out quality games and keeping them dev. Like PlanetSide 2 almost lost its play audience at one point, and it brought it back. So,
well, PlanetSide 2 is actually a pretty good game. I remember though. It's like the only. I wouldn't say it's like the only free-to-play shooter out there, but it's one of the better ones, and it's one of the more massive ones. Like, it's a really big world. Like, you have bases, you have, like, fortresses, you have, like, camps that you have three factions going at it. And personally, I think the three-faction thing is one of the best, because you have if you only have two factions, one side's probably going to end up just dominating until people get bored and then just switch sides. Three factions means that it's a little trickier to do, a little trickier to coordinate. But beside the point. These are some big games.
Yeah,
and it's like, why would Sony sell it off? It's not like these games were really doing bad either. They were still making money.
Like they're still making money, but if you look at what they are, MMOs, free-to-play MMOs, they're getting increasingly harder to be profitable outside of microtransactions. And maybe the Sony doesn't want to deal with all that infrastructure. They don't want to deal with that. Yeah, they'll make money, but it's a really big hassle. They're going to have to spend a lot of money to make that money. And the beauty of Sony is this. They have so much money. They are such a big company that they could afford to do, like, you know what? I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to focus on this now. It's like when Blizzard said, we're not going to do Titan. No more.
That shocked
It's not
me.
the weakness. Yeah, but it's not a weakness that they said, no, I'm not going to do it.
No.
It's a strength that they could put all that money and time into a huge, massive, beautiful game and go, nah, not going to happen. So Sony's kind of doing the same thing where it's like, hey, I'm going to put my hand in this pot, hand in this pot. This is not working out so great, so just going to cut my losses and go. Or, sell it for some profit here and make something else better. They did sell the Vio last year, which is their laptop computer programming.
I did not know that. It's like I know Alienware got sold, but I didn't realize that Vio got sold as well. I guess I missed that one. But so I was like, where the hell am I going to get a laptop now? It's like I don't want to get a Dell. It's like all the good laptops are being sold off, even though they're the ones that are good.
Where we have to go to, like Hewlett Packard or something like that. HP laptop.
HP crap top, yes.
I have an HP.
I'm sorry.
Would you prefer an IBM?
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I would love an IBM.
Actually, no.
Just a server rig.
My HP's not that bad.
That's
lasted
good.
me over a year.
Or the Toshiba or Hitachi. Or I'm kind of sad because I like the Sony laptops. They were good.
With
they were good, but
it's gonna see how it
said,
changes.
Yeah, it's basically I think they're just like not cutting their losses so much as they see the trends going a certain direction and they're going, you know what? We're gonna get out now before we actually waste money. We're making money now, but tomorrow we may not be. So let's get out now before we actually have to. Put more time than we want to into this. They did it with the laptops, the Vio, because everything's going towards mobile and tablets. They're doing the same thing with this now. They're showing
it's not like they didn't have tablets,
all the MMOs. I know, but they see the trend going that way, and they're probably seeing some sort of trend that maybe I don't see, that they're, these free-to-plays aren't going to be making money. But I do think that, you have to put a lot more money into it to actually get some out of these free-to-plays, because it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, it's a lot of money to make MMOs. And
yes, it is.
But
it's not like they weren't making it back.
They weren't making it back. No, they were making it back, but, it's one of those things where they just don't want to deal with it anymore. They want to focus on some things that they're better at.
It's not consistent. I think that's the thing it's not consistently profitable. Like, the profits fluctuate so heavily from month to month.
That's true.
And I think that's part of it. And then there's going to be a new market for MMOs, which is multi-platform free-to-play that are tablet, PC, phone, with connectivity between them all. And you're seeing that kind of develop, and that's going to be costly to program.
Well, you just kind of you could kind of see that with the with that freaking Injustice fighting game.
Yeah, and then there's
it's on phones, it's on tablets, and they have the actual video game that. Well, you can't really play people on a phone with it, but the things that you accomplish in the console version give unlocks to the mobile version and vice versa.
Yep.
Never. I'm never going to play an MMO on this thing. Ever.
There's a upcoming game called Albion Online, which is a resource management game heavily, but it's got some multiplayer combat aspects to it. So it's
a fancier Farmville.
Well, it's a lot more...
Farmville combat.
There's
if that happens, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, but I mean...
Those are my pigs!
Yeah.
Sorry, we keep interrupting you.
It's a full fleshed out MMO. Like, RPG elements, item crafting, everything. But, it's the same game is gonna be on phone and tablet. They've already shown it, it's already there. They're alpha testing it now. So you see a full functional MMO finally on these things that you're going to be rewarded for constantly being connected to it.
Will they have catapults?
I think they have weird things. But so it's just it's a constantly evolving market with free to plays, and it's hard to stay on top of. And I can see why a major company like Sony would rather not be involved.
But also another part of it that gets me wondering, with it, it's like, yes, they sold their online division. Does this signify that there's an issue in regards to just their gaming division itself? Or is it just like a separate thing, being that SOE is an online thing only, even though the PS4 is also online?
I think they just really want to get back to being a publisher. They want to step back, guide a little bit, but really return to that core where they were more behind the scenes publishing games than their hands in everything like they grew to be. And so you have them downsizing, which happens with companies.
But is this a bad sign for the PlayStation?
No, I think it's a solid sign. I mean, they'll keep doing what they do, and they opened up PlayStation with architect-wise for indie devs and third parties. It's the best system out there at the moment. So,
Yep. PlayStation really has to focus on getting more games itself.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, they
unlike
just sold
X-
one of their better developers.
They did, but I mean, they don't have to worry too much about developing the game. They have to
I
worry
was gonna say
on other.
it's not like they couldn't have put EverQuest out on the PlayStation 4. It's not like they couldn't have put H1Z1 on the PS4. It's not like they couldn't have put PlanetSide 2 on the PS4, or the next PlanetSide on the PS4.
Well, I mean,
And it's like it's a shame because I played a lot of earlier SOE games, like after Sony bought out Harmless Games and picked up Infantry and Tenaris. Those are two games that I played almost religiously back in high school, back in like middle school, high school. And it's like, granted, yeah, they aren't really around anymore, unless it's like just like a group of people making it themselves. But
in the basement somewhere, sitting there playing the game. We're all that's
or,
left.
or they host up their own server or something like that. But
Yeah.
it's because I know that the code is out there. But yeah, it's, well, hell, they bought out from Harmless, and then that's a long story, I believe. But yeah, it's sad because it was a pretty good developer. So I'm kind of surprised that it got sold, even though it may not be guaranteed money. It's like, yeah, it fluctuates depending on the time. So I guess you're right. They are just getting out now, so they don't have to deal with that fluctuation anymore. Even though they do make money out of it.
They do make money, but Vios made money too.
Yes, they did.
The laptops made money. They were good laptops.
Not as much as Dell, because Dell made pieces of shit and sold for.
Well, it's tinfoil and rat droppings. That's what Dell's made out of. And so they don't actually spend much money to make them. Where Vios, you put money into it, but you had a much better machine. But someone higher up at Sony said, hey, I see the trend going this way. Let's just not do that. Which is, I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a strength of Sony, saying, we're doing something great, but you know what? We're getting ahead of the curve here. They're trying to be innovative, I guess, by selling off all
We're
their
getting
brands.
ahead of the curve there, bud.
Innovative technology is expensive. It takes a lot to keep on the cutting edge, and sometimes it's better to let other people do it. Like you have companies like Asus, which were associated with literally worse than Dell at one point, but tablets come out,
which is hard to believe considering they're.
It's a decent. It's a performance-wise, it's
Gateways.
decent, holds up well. But I mean,
Back
that's
to the
what
counterpart.
it is. But then you have like Razer is put out one of the best tablets out there. They're working on that modular PC system, which is gonna change. Is gonna be a game changer. So you have these peripherals getting into more hardcore tech development. Why not let them do it?
You mean a game changer like the Oculus Rift?
Yeah.
I like that one.
But I mean, that's what it is.
They are making porn on it.
It was bound
I don't
to
want it
happen.
for that reason.
Bound to happen. Bound to happen, dude.
There's porn on everything.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
You put the internet.
I forget what rule that is, but it's probably like
Rule 34.
No. Rule 34 is that there's porn of everything. I'm talking about rules
There's porn
one.
out of us right now.
This is probably like rules 1 through 15,
Porno.
where it's like if you make it, there's porn on it.
Pretty much.
Well, actually, it's funny because porn is actually a driving force of innovation. DVDs,
Sad
VHS,
part,
all that.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
part,
true. It's
yeah.
sad, but that's it's the driving force of technology is porn. Internet is made for porn.
Yes, it is.
So grab your pick.
So I mean, yeah. So I
Train.
think Oculus
toot,
Rift will actually.
toot.
It might drive a lot of really interesting technologies from that. A lot of sensory things from it. Well, I shouldn't use my hands.
But in that case, it makes me think. It's like, yeah, the Oculus Rift is pretty innovative. Is this innovative for Sony and PlayStation?
To be honest, the big thing is VR tech is Steam. Steam's coming out with their own, made with HTC.
Yes, they are.
Partnered up with HTC to make one.
But then again,
that's probably a little weird. Like Steam, like you.
What about the Steam boxes?
Well, Steam Box is weird because it came right out as they started to like Gigabyte and stuff came out with micro PCs, which are upgradable. Like, why wouldn't you buy a micro PC which you can upgrade over a Steam Box, which is integrated parts? Like, why would what? It doesn't even make any fucking sense.
So it's like we can say all these good things, but it's like there are things that are just that they've done that have flopped flat on their face, or they've just disappeared. So it's like case in point, the Steam Box with the micro PCs. The Steam boxes have pretty much disappeared. So, do you really trust them to make like the VR device, or the thing that you mentioned before with Sony? We saw that with the Oculus Rift and being innovative, and it's like, yeah, it's innovative, but it's not a game change. It's not like a world changer like they advertise. So with this,
definitely.
so yeah, it's like it's basically
it's got ways to go.
Granted, they all had hype trains attached to them.
Yeah.
So it's
like,
is this another hype train?
Steam Machine was definitely unfortunate timing. Like, no one had heard of micro PCs when they started talking about Steam machines. And then Gigabyte and everyone started coming out. And there's only a couple brands. There's, I think, I know of five brands who make micro PCs. So there's not a lot.
Okay.
And it's a new market. But you think about that, how, like, esports is growing. So yeah, micro PC is going to seem really great, as is a modular PC, because these are going to be packed up, portable, and they're going to play the games that esports is playing, because these aren't cutting-edge graphical games, usually.
The cutting edge. Great.
Yeah.
Now you have me thinking of a song from Brave Little Toaster.
But I mean, that's what it is. Esports is accessible, and it's getting more accessible and more accessible. And so, Steam Machine was just unfortunate. Like, unfortunate planning, really.
But then again, do you think that they'll come back with it?
I think they're gonna have to. They gotta go. I think they will. I think they're gonna go back and get rid of the integrated parts. They're gonna look at micro PCs, and that's what they're gonna become.
It feels like it disappeared to go back to the drawing board a bit, which is a shame, because it's like it looked like for like a while it looked like they were almost ready to come out. Like, people were getting the betas, people were getting them shipped to them, and they were trying them out. And there's like, okay, these are actually not bad, and then they just disappeared. Yeah, it's like, and we haven't heard anything since.
It's weird. But that's what it's going to be.
The people or the boxes?
Both.
The boxes ate the people. That's what really happened.
Now you know what made the Steam.
But
that's how they power things.
Into VR.
That powers the Steam sales. Human bodies. It's people. It's made of people.
I believe it, man. There's going to be some black magic going on to get those fucking prices. But back to
Steam is made of people.
It's made of people. Soylent Game.
Soylent Game. It is made of people.
That definitely.
All right.
That name.
Well, in that case, I think we can move on to the next topic with that one. It's made of people. Well, going back to. Let's re-enter the FPS genre right now.
Okay.
Right now, one of the big things that you see in a lot of FPS games is a 2-weapon limit, usually where it's one big weapon, one sidearm weapon. That was not the case in the past. Like, remember in Goldeneye and Perfect Dark, you had an entire military arsenal in James Bond's back pocket. But so it's now it's like games where you never see anything but like a 2-3 weapon system or a limited weapon system. Like, the only game that you have a good choice of like a good choice of weapons would be like Grand Theft Auto or Saints Row, where you have like the wheel of weapons. And even then it's limited because you only have access to like one specific type within that category at a time. Should we keep going with the two weapon limit, or go back to like the Goldeneye Perfect Dark style, Doom style, where you can have an infinite number on you at once, with all types, all access at the same time? Like, what do you? It's yeah, go for it.
It really depends on the game of this one, honestly. Games like Call of Duty, they're all about realism.
Realism.
And in those kind
Everything's
of games,
brown.
Yeah, everything's shades of brown. I do agree that you should only have like the two weapons, because let's face it, you can't go, gun, pistol, tank. It doesn't work that way in real life.
I remember putting in the
games...
code and getting the tank weapon on the non-tank stage.
Yes, exactly.
He fires the shell.
8mm. Why not?
Oh, that was good memories.
Grand Theft Auto. They're not about realism, unless you do run around with a dildo bat. It's about fun, and you have fun with a lot of guns. So I don't see a problem with making a line there. Look, these games meant to be kind of silly, kind of crazy. You have billions of guns. You have fun guns. I think the only limit is because you don't want to be scrolling through hundreds of guns. Like, I don't want the purple bat. There we go. I want the tentacle bat. There we go.
Okay.
I mean, you have to just, there has to be some line so you don't, the designers are going, oh my god, how much code do we have to write for this?
I did used to memorize the amount of weapon switches it took to navigate through the Goldeneye list to the ones I wanted.
Exactly.
That was fun, though. But it's like I basically press,
fun.
all right, I got to press A 20 times. Click, 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 click. There's my gun.
That is, so annoying. It does take some time. It does take time away from, the killing, the blowing up, all that stuff.
Killing and the murdering.
Yeah. The murdering and the
booms,
the frying
booms.
and the dubstepping. Yeah, I mean that's what I feel on that gun situation, I guess.
Or should we do? Well, in that case, it makes me think: should we do something like the inventory system from like a Resident Evil game?
I'm thinking more like actually Half-Life. Because think of the Half-Life inventory. You had multiple of them every now and again, but you never had more than the 5 was a special, 4 was like the shotgun, whatever-ish.
Yeah, well, that's kind of like the Grand Theft Auto method, where it's like, you had each category, but you only had one of each category.
You had multiple of some.
No.
In Half-Life.
No. In Half-Life, yes. But it's I'm just saying it's like similar in concept to like the weapon wheel.
Mm-hmm. So
I'm
you said it'd be similar to what? Sorry. You said it would be similar to Resident Evil?
Yeah, something like Resident Evil, or where you had like a grid, or it's like a Diablo weapon inventory system, but with pistols and guns. So it's like your pistol took up so much space. So it's like you could have an arsenal of about 10 pistols, but if you want to have like the assault rifle, that takes the place of like 3 of them.
Oh, yeah, I'd be on board with that. Cool.
You still see that in adventure games like Torchlights and whatnot. You see that system, and it works. It works, the inventory balancing these sorts. The bug is bad. I don't care. Go to bed. Go to bed.
Quick, use the assault rifle on the bug.
But to be fair, in a shooter, I don't know how I feel about that in every shooter. It would be kind of weird, because I'm personally I play Destiny as my FPS right now. And I like the way their system is set up. I can use 1 heavy, 1 primary, and 1 secondary. I can carry...
That's kind of like a weapon
as many as I can hold of them, which is fair.
You're only limited to 9 of each category.
Yeah, 9 of each category, which, if you need more than 9 of each category, what the fuck are you doing?
Hey,
when you have multiple weapon types with multiple elemental abilities...
There's only 4 in Destiny.
I ran out if you have a whole stack of legendaries with each thing.
Well, that's the thing. You have the legendary.
I'll just pull that out of the pocket right here.
Yeah.
Is that a minigun, or you're just happy to see me?
Dirty on minions.
Oh, yeah.
Dirty.
Say hello to my little minigun.
But I think it's a fair system.
Minion.
And that's what it comes down to. Because...
That'd be a great weapon.
Minions assemble.
Shooting them out. No, shooting little minions out. You're perfect.
Are you talking about the little minions from like
Yeah.
Because I would.
Well, I was starting
I'm
with
so
a minion.
sick
Nah,
of
nah.
mini. I'm so sick of Despicable Me, Frozen, all that shit. I'm just tired of it. All
Well, you have
right?
a kid, that's why.
No, I'm tired
Yeah.
of it clogging up my Facebook feed. All right, all over my fucking Facebook.
No,
All
I
over.
know. Hey, I could start singing if you want.
No.
No, no, no. But yeah,
No, man,
so it's like, yeah, I understand it. I understand it. It does depend on the game, yes, but which is the overall better system in your opinion?
I don't think there's an overall better system. I think game by game, you need to come up with a system that fits the scenario of the game and what you want as the developer the game to be. And then you're going to get feedback from your audience, and you need to listen to that. Because they're the ones who are obviously playing the game.
Yeah.
They're the ones who are experiencing it. They probably have different experiences which you can pull from. But there's no one way to handle a weapon system. Different games need different styles.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
I want a lot of guns. I'm a silly person, so I want things blowing up in my face, magic colors, and.
I like the way you think, sir.
Yes.
Dubstep guns forever.
I use the 50 cal sniper rifle. Oh look, a tank. Thunk.
That's why I hate like all those games. Everyone gets one gun and they stay with that one gun always.
Oh, no,
Every single like.
But that's why I like the giant weapon system. I'm not forced to be using one or two guns the entire way.
That's true.
That's why I like the giant weapon system. It's like, okay, this time I want to use a club. This time I want to use two clubs. This one I want to use the DD-44 to Slavla. Or this one I want to use a sniper rifle. Or this one I want to use the tank cannon. Or just run through the map using the watch laser. That's always fun.
Yeah.
Or it's like, yeah, they had that in Goldeneye. They had that in Perfect Dark. They had that in Time Splitters. You had all the old weapons in Time Splitters, which is one. Well, Time Splitters had a stage clear, which that's a topic for another day.
I completely forgot about that.
I love that game.
Time Splitter is just amazing.
And yet they keep making Call of Duties.
Well, that's because it's got a rabid fan base.
Oh, I hate people.
That's
Dude,
like best in, you know.
Yeah.
I love that they don't.
Oh, in that case, in that case, Time Splitters would have been perfect for that crowd. It's like all the women had was basically made for sex appeal, and they had all the different guns from the different time periods. They had Tommy guns, for God's sakes. How can you not like Tommy guns?
I just love the sound and the aesthetics of a Tommy gun, honestly.
It's like all the classic stuff.
Sound. It's just fantastic.
It's like you have Tommy guns versus lasers. That is the fan argument right there.
I want Tommy guns that shoot lasers. I've seen those. I want them every
That's
time.
gonna be a band name. In 25 minutes, that's become a band name. Tommy Guns and Lasers.
Let's check the MySpace.
Look it up.
Check MySpace. It's probably already taken.
Heard it before it was cool, guys. Right here.
You hipster bastard.
Yep. Yeah, making this a hipster thing. Oh, wonderful.
But yeah. All
Sorry.
right. Well, in that case, I give you this question: which was your favorite weapon system of all time?
Ooh.
All time.
Of all time.
I don't.
All time.
That's hard, actually.
I'm gonna go with the Drakengard system. Because not only did you have the weapon wheel, which you could put anything on. You had whatever slots, you could just throw whatever you wanted on it. But the weapons evolved while you were using them, which was interesting.
Yes. All right. Pat?
I'm thinking. I'm honestly gonna have to go with Half-Life. To be honest, it was simple. It was a vast array of weapons, and I didn't feel like I had too little, too many. That's something with game development, but it was just easy to get to. 5 down, done.
Okay.
And I don't know. I really, it's hard. It's hard to say. It's like Sophie's Choice here. I mean.
Well, all right, fine.
Like
if you can't decide, then give me your top two or something like that, or top three.
It would be of the Half-Life type, as well as I'm going to go with Grand Theft Auto.
The weapon wheel
Saints
of Doom?
Row type. Yeah, that one. I'm going to go with those two. It's very different, I'm aware, but each one had very good, really awesome things to it, and only little drawbacks.
Me, I kind of made it clear which one I like. I like the old system better than the two weapon system or the weapon wheel. I like having choice. I like having choice, and it's like, okay, I want to kill. I basically, in a few levels in Goldeneye, I killed one person with one weapon, then switched, got the next person, switched the weapon, got the next person. And I basically just did the entire rotisserie of, like, the entire rotation throughout the entire thing, and just basically beat the level using every additional weapon. It was tricky with the grenades.
Good contest. I was gonna say that's a pretty good contest right there. Use every weapon in one level.
Yep, and if you could time it, use every weapon only once.
Ooh.
Or at least you can only get one kill with each weapon. But if you get a multi-kill, that's fine. But if you get one kill, you can only do one killing blow with each weapon.
I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna fire up the 64 and play some Goldeneye.
It's no Nuzlocke. Call it a K7 challenge. There we go. I'll add that to the.
We're doing that.
I'll add that to the Twitter.
Yeah.
Hear that, viewers? Your challenge for this week is go through an entire level of Goldeneye using every weapon, getting one kill with each of them. Can you do it? Good luck.
Challenge accepted.
Yes. All right. Well,
I would have to add, if I had to pick two,
Mm-hmm.
the weapon system where you pick up what the enemy drops. So you can constantly be rotating out your weapons.
But isn't that like almost all the games now?
No, there's tons of in Destiny. I can't pick up.
Oh yeah. That's
I mean, like PlanetSide 2, a lot of these FPSs.
Well, you can pick up the weapons in Goldeneye. You can pick up the weapons in Saints Row. You can pick up the weapons in almost all the games.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's like the only game that you can is like Destiny.
They're taking like Elder Scrolls type game where you could like pick up the weapon they drop and the armor they drop.
Awesome.
Oh, there you go. Do that in Fallout.
Just any game. Like, if I could pick up my enemy's weapons consistently, it would bring just, on top of what you're carrying, it just bring a little variety at
Honestly,
times.
Yeah. There is something to be said about murdering someone with his friend's dagger. It's just... I'm a hopeless romantic, I guess. Just
Dude, it'd be so badass to, be playing Destiny, walk up a guy, he's so proud of his exotic, shoot him in the back of the head, and then just pick it up and be like, but now, bitch.
That's Counter-Strike right there. That is Counter-Strike Online right there.
That's Counter-Strike,
That's Counter-Strike right there.
I don't like that much.
You kill the guy, you could pick up his AWP with all his little tags on it, and then blow him up with it. Have fun with that.
And there's definitely fun. There's advantage, especially if you're playing with your friends.
Yeah.
Or against your friends. It's hilarious. You can have so much fun.
Definitely. All right. Well, we'll leave that topic at that and go into our final one tonight. It is the versus topic that we had planned for the Pass the Controller episode tonight. What I like to do with the versus, we basically give two... It's like we have two sides, and they basically face off in a death battle, or just in whatever battle you want, and you say who wins and why. This episode is kind of like it's kind of like an evolution from the previous one that we had. Alucard from Castlevania versus Dante from the Devil May Cry series. Who wins?
You can go first.
Alucard. Fuck Dante. I've hated that guy. I fucking hate his franchise so much at this point. I'm sick and fucking tired of fucking Dante. I have loved Alucard from the start. He made fucking Castlevania what it was. I mean, sure, you know Belmont and everybody, but it's Alucard. He spanned how many games in the franchise? They don't have him, then they bring him back because fans love him. You can't get rid of him. He's an array of powers that are interesting and varied depending on the game. Dante, he's, one mode. I mean, it's a hack and slash. I fucking hate him.
But as a character, would he beat him? Would he beat Alucard in a fight?
Dude, Alucard's more fleshed out as a character.
I'm not talking about who's more fleshed out. I'm talking about who would win in a fight.
Alucard, he's got more abilities.
Okay. More versatility.
More abilities doesn't mean he's going to win, though.
But I think he's tougher. He survived. I mean, they both survived an insanely stupid amount of things.
Yeah, they're both survivors.
kill
Yes, so it's going to be an interesting fight.
almost anyone. I would
Well,
be
it's kind of like Deadpool versus Deathstroke.
Deadpool wins. He can't die. Deathstroke can at least die.
That's true.
I mean, Deadpool,
So-
he's literally immortal.
Fine. It's like Deadshot versus Deathstroke.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Is your nerdiness appeased?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Thank you. I read comic books. No, but I think, I mean, if you look at, I guess you could compare weaponry, in which case Dante's got an advantage, but Alucard makes up with that with an array of magical powers that are.
Then again, how much holy water can you use on Dante before it does anything? Holy water! You end up just making the guy sparkle.
Like a Twilight vampire.
I'm pretty sure Dante's.
You turned it into a fanfic.
Whoa!
This needs to happen.
No.
Listeners, readers,
No!
do it.
It's already there. You know
Draw
it
it up
exists.
and make
You
it.
know it exists. You know it's there.
Oh, I already know it exists, and if it hasn't, it's going to. But
We will now.
It's gonna be
All right.
Alucard
Going on it
because
tomorrow.
it's girls.
Or tonight
Don't
even.
look at anything else.
all right. Well,
So,
Pat,
on a whole between the two,
on the whole,
whatever. They're both, immortal? He's the son of Dracula. Alucard's the son of Dracula and some female human, right? My one thing about this is I would like Alucard to win. Mainly because Dante just doesn't care. He eats pizza. It's like, I'm Michelangelo, but I'm a demon guy. Whatever. He doesn't care. Mouths off all the
Teenage
time.
Mutant Ninja Demons.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't really have that much,
Teenage
to him.
Japanese Ninja Demons.
Exactly. I mean, all the manga says he does nothing but eat pizza all day, and he did nothing like he is a teenage kid. Whereas Alucard, basically, he is a vampire-ish, and turned on his own kind and fought with the Belmonts. Yeah, fought with the Belmont clan to rid the world of his kind. That takes a lot of cojones. And I really think that he would have the heart to beat Dante. But I think the fact that, because even in the games, when you play him, he has that human bit of him that goes, I shouldn't do that, I shouldn't kill him. He might slip up with one of those, and Dante will just kill him. I don't know, find a way to stake him or something like that. So I think the humanness of Alucard is his ultimate undoing in the fight between the two. So while I'd like Alucard to win, Dante would win. The pizza-eating
Pizza-eating prissy face.
dingbat.
Who's covered in holy water now.
Yeah, it's who's shining. So sparkly.
All right.
I don't know. It's weird. Because, you think about it, and Alucard suffers from his games being a bit more dated, per se. Where,
even then, well, in that case, he could have the repertoire found in the more modern Castlevania games.
I
don't want
to talk. No, we don't talk about the Wii U game.
All right, fine then. Symphony of the Night. How about that?
All right. Well, even then, but he doesn't take on quite the level of stuff Dante does. Dante literally goes to hell. Literally. In point. But I still think
this isn't Dante's Inferno.
No, I know what you're saying. No, he literally.
Though that would be a good one, Dante from Dante's Inferno versus the modern Castlevania game. Watch the fun with that one.
How about Dante and Paradiso?
But there's points where he full on demonizes Dante in some of his games, and you see it in the anime and his manga per se.
Right.
But that human aspect that Pat's talking about, Dante suffers from the same thing.
But Dante suffers from more like lethargy. It's like lethargy.
He still has that.
It's not like a moral.
He's got that moral line he doesn't cross.
And what about Alucard? Doesn't he have that
moral
line?
The thing is this.
Well, exactly. They
Dante
both
has that moral line, but he chooses it. I mean, it's not. Alucard's not really choosing this thing. It's because he has the humanity. He's like, I can't really kill him. It's because of his human mother.
Well, that's the same way. Dante's not full demon. He's a half-breed, too.
it's essentially the battle of the half breeds.
Yeah.
They're both half breeds. They're both half human.
Goddamn immortals.
They're both half human on their mother's side.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not.
I always misunderstood Dante then. You guys always misunderstood.
Well, Dante's emo. Of course, he's misunderstood.
Well,
Yeah, he is.
but I mean, to me, so I don't know. And he's got that same thing. He battles with his humanity because he could go ape shit and end his game. Like his game
technically, so can Alucard. Remember at the beginning of Symphony of the Night, he had all the powers and he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And then he lost his powers.
Exactly. So I mean, they're equal on par. Like they both have powers out the ass. Could level the world if they decided to.
I just really feel that.
I think you see that more with Alucard. Like they
Because he's more closely.
they really pushed his humanity more. Whereas Dante's emo, prishy, I want to be Brash's head.
It's a footnote. It's a footnote on Dante's thing, where it's like front and center on Alucard.
Okay.
But Dante still has that line he doesn't cross, and so I don't think Alucard's humanity would trip him up quite as much as Patrick thinks.
Okay.
Well, I think he would trip him up more than it would trip up Dante.
What is it?
So it'd be that one tiny bit there that would just throw him over the edge, and Dante would win in a fight between the two.
Oh. All right. Well, in that case, I will leave it at this. What is a human but a miserable little pile of secrets? All right.
Oh, I've heard. Well.
All right. Well, I think we can call it for tonight on this episode. Thank you both very much for coming on the show tonight, and I hope you all enjoyed the topics that we covered. For Justin and Pat, I'm Kyle, and I hope to see everyone again next time.
Bye. Makes that fan fiction happen. Do it.
Remember,
Yeah, sorry.
complete your K7 challenge.
I'm going to start that right now, actually.
I'd have to